وأسوتنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, with Allah's permission, mashallah, that's what I like. Alhamdulillah, with Allah's permission, we're blessed to have a special guest this evening, Sheikh Abdul Hamid Kish from Ghana. Alhamdulillah, Sheikh Abdul Hamid has been working over 15 years now in the communities in West Africa, spreading tolerance, spreading communication, combating extremism and violent extremism in our community, alhamdulillah. And alhamdulillah, he's come here to the United States to visit a number of communities, and we're blessed to have him here this evening. I won't take a long time in the introduction. I'll just ask our young Hafiz, Sheikh Farhan, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, I was hoping he would come tonight. I meant to get a hold of him earlier, but I called him this evening. I asked him if he could open the evening with a quick recitation of the Quran, alhamdulillah. So we ask Allah to accept from him and from all of you. So he'll read some of the Quran, and we'll start the lecture, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسألونك عن الأنفال قل الأنفال لله والرسول فاتقوا الله وأصلحوا ذات بينكم وأطيعوا الله ورسوله إن كنتم مؤمنين. إنما المؤمنون إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم آياته زادتهم إيمانا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. الذين يقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون أولئك هم المؤمنون حقا لهم درجات عند ربهم ومغفرة ورزق كريم. كما أخرجك ربك من بيتك بالحق وإن فريقا من المؤمنين لكارهون. يجادلونك في الحق بعدما تبين كأنما يساقون إلى الموت وهم ينظرون. وإذ يعدكم الله إحدى الطائفتان أنه لكم وتودون أن غير ذات الشوكة تكون لكم ويريد الله أن يحق الحق بكلماته ويقطع دابر الكافرين. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah, so we'll let the Sheikh begin his lecture. Jazakallah khair. May Allah accept his efforts in coming here to visit us, and bless him and his family, and give them the best of this life and the next. Salam.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. We thank the Almighty Allah for giving us another opportunity to meet wonderful brothers and sisters. Today is a Friday, which is the 15th day of Zulhijjah, 1440 years after the Hijrah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It also corresponds with the 16th day of August 2019. I pray that this day bears positive witness upon us on the day of Qiyamah, Whatever shortcomings we have, may the Almighty Allah forgive us. First and foremost, I'm not a sheikh. I'm no mufti. I'm no allama. I'm a student. And as we speak right now, I'm even on vacation from school. I'm on holidays from school. I'm studying at the Islamic University of Niger. Those people from West Africa know Niger. That's where I'm studying now. So don't expect to hear things that the big sheikh here, my elder brother and sheikh, always say. I don't consider myself as an expert in any of the Islamic sciences fields. I don't consider myself as an expert at all. I'm a student, and I will remain a student for life. I read as a student. I just speak observations. And as we speak here, as you sit here today, I'm sitting in front of you not because I'm better than anybody else, no. I'm a guest that has been honored to sit here. It's not because this topic has never been discussed before, even in this building, no. It might even be a repetition of what you already know. So that's the first part. The second part is, definitely you're going to find mistakes and errors in my statement. I'm a human being. I accept corrections because I believe that is what makes me better. Because at every point in time, at one point or another in time in life, we will falter as human beings. And anytime we are corrected, I believe for us to be better human beings, we need to accept, whatever correction that comes from people. So if you hear anything in the course of the program that you're not okay with, or you have a different view, no problem. When it's time for coffee, you approach me, then you correct me. That's the way I live my life. Alhamdulillah. The topic of discussion, we are in the Islamic Center of Maryland, right? What's the name of the community?
Good question.
Islamic Center of Maryland.
Yes, no, the name of the neighborhood. No, please. Huh? This is the American way. Tell me the African way. We say Gettysburg. That's how we say it in Africa. Gettysburg. You hear every letter, every word. We used to watch, Hollywood movies, and that's all we hear. That's it. So when I landed at the JFK airport in New York, part of the employees at JFK is, you guys got to get in line. I was like, what, am I in a movie? I've come to where it is, alhamdulillah. So we are in Gettysburg, alhamdulillah. America is a very different place. You're different from the world. You know why? I went to a shop and I want to buy something, and they said this is 5 pounds in weight. They write 5 and they write LBS. And they say it's pounds. In Africa, when it's kilogram, it's kg. It's kilogram, kg. And here they say pounds and they write LBS. What's this? What's this? So you people are different. They say ounces and then there is OZ. There is no Z in the word. So how do you get OZ in there? Just by the way, alhamdulillah. To just get us in the mood. Welcome to America. The topic of discussion is the reality of the dunya. There is a fable I read on Facebook that a young man saw a young lady that he wanted to marry. So he went to his father to tell his father, I found a lady, I want to get married to her. So his father said, no problem, let me see her. If I see her, and there's no problem, I'll approve. When the father saw the young lady, he said, my son, you see this kind of girl, she's beautiful, she's well-mannered, well-educated. She needs a very responsible man, someone who is well-educated, who knows his way about the world like me, your father. So you don't deserve the girl. I must marry her. The boy was devastated. It became a confusion and the police department had to come in. So the police chief said, what is wrong with you people? you're fighting over the same girl. The boy said, I saw her and I want to marry her, and the father is saying no. So the police officer said, no problem. Let the girl come and then she decides. When she came in, the police officer saw her, he said, you know, this young girl needs someone who can protect her very well. Someone who is very well versed when it comes to protecting properties and people. Someone with much experience in that, like myself, the police officer. It became a whole issue. So they had to take it to the Ages department. And the Chief Justice's attention was brought in. The Chief Justice, when he heard the case, was very furious. What are you people all about? 3 people, 3 men fight over the same woman. Let her come in. When she comes in, then we'll see. She decides. When she was brought in, the Chief Justice said, you see, I've lived with a lot of people. I've sat upon a lot of cases. People with different mindsets and mentalities have come, in front of me, and I've read their minds, and I understand the way human beings work, especially women. So the very person who is better placed to marry this girl is me, the Chief Justice. It got to the presidency. The president said, you people are serious. What's going on? The girl was brought in front of the president, and His Excellency said, you see, you people don't understand the way the world moves. I'm the commander-in-chief of the armies. I'm the father of the nation. I'm the first gentleman. So this young lady deserves the first gentleman of the nation. So I'm the one who is going to marry her. The young lady said, wait. To cut everything short, you guys are going to go for a race. The one who wins the race gets me. So she went at a distance and she stood there, and they all got onto the track and they started running. Not knowing in front of them there was a big pit. They all fell into the pit. They broke their arms and lips. And then she came over to them and looked at them in the pit, and then she told them, do you know who I am really? They said, no. She said, I'm the Dunya. All of us are running after her. The president is running after the Dunya. The Chief Justice is running after the Dunya. The imams are running after the Dunya. We are students. The imams are running after the Dunya. Each and every one of us is mad over the Dunya. And that is the reality of the world we are in now. We are thirsting for the Dunya. We are running helter-skelter for the Dunya. But then what is the reality of this Dunya? And as Muslims, what is our relationship with the Dunya? Within some few minutes, that's what I want us to discuss. So put the story at the back of your minds, and as we go on, we might make references to the story. Let's go straight forward to Surah Al Imran. The Almighty Allah said in Surah Al Imran verse 14, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ وقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة والخيل المسومة والأنعام والحرث ذلك متاع الحياة الدنيا والله عنده حسن المآب. The Almighty Allah said, beautified for us in this world, first and foremost, women. For men. And for women too. Beautified for us, for our desires, for our wants. Number one in the dunya for men is women. It's number one. And then it doesn't matter whether you are a sheikh or a mu'adhin of the masjid. It doesn't matter. When it comes to issues of women, iman doesn't come in there. Take it out. I'm a sheikh. Wallahi wallahi. When it comes to issues of women, iman doesn't work there. That is why the Prophet Muhammad said, don't have mixed up with women. Umar bin Abdul Aziz said, لا يخلون أحدكم بالمرأة الأجنبية ولو كان يحفظها القرآن الكريم. He said, none of you should sit alone in an enclosed area with a woman all alone, even if you are teaching her Quran. So the Almighty Allah beautified women for us. And we all know of stories of people who kill each other because of women. We know. He pulls out the gun and then he fires him, boom, kills him because of his wife or because he wants a woman. He wants the woman. So it's part of the dunya. And men are going mad because of women. And women now have become the object of diversion for men. I don't get it. You are advertising for a car and then you put next to it a naked woman. What do you want to achieve? The idea is when you see the naked woman, you buy the car automatically. So women have been beautified for us. Well, banin and children. We all want to have kids when we get married. وَالْقَنَاطِيرِ الْمُقَنْطَرَةِ مِنَ الذَّهَبِ وَالْفِضَّةِ. And then heaps of gold and silver. You no longer deal with the gold standard, it's now the dollars. Everybody is very concerned about money now. We all want to have money. Even the sheikhs especially want to have money. It is true. We must have money, we must ride in big cars. But anyway, the sheikhs in this part of the world, you are doing well. When you come to a part of the world, that's the reality. And I think it's an opportunity to draw our minds to the fact that we need to respect our imams and our sheikhs. It's very, very important. We need to give them their due. These people are responsible for our spiritual upbringing and even sometimes our physical upbringing. We need to give them that respect. And then one astonishing thing is that we don't argue with doctors. We don't argue with engineers. When you are sick and then you go to the hospital and the doctor says, you still see this drug, you take 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the evening. You say, yes, sir. But then when your sheikh says something, I think, you think. And that's the problem we are facing now. The sheikh has gone to Al-Azhar to study. From when he could not even speak Arabic, he went to Egypt to go and study Arabic language. He studied the Sharia. He spent over a decade in Egypt. And then he comes and then he tells you something from the Sharia point of view. And then you tell me because you are in Gettysburg that you think. I was confronted by someone like that who is a medical officer. I said something and then he told me he thinks. I said, fine, no problem. When someone falls sick and then he comes to your hospital and then you give him a prescription and I come and say, I think, what will be your reaction? He said, I wouldn't like it. I said, okay, what you're doing now, I don't like it, so move on. So we need to respect our sheikhs. So we all want money. It's part of our bariza, it's part of our natural disposition. We all want to have some dollars in our pockets or in our bank accounts or in our homes. It is natural. It is what the Almighty Allah has put us to. وَالْخَيْلِ الْمُسَوَّمَةِ. We want to have fine rides. The V8s or the Ferraris or the Lamborghinis or the Bugattis. We want to have them. Beautiful rides in front of our homes. وَالْأَنْعَامِ وَالْحَرْثِ. We want to have farms. We want to have tills. We want to have all these kinds of wealth now. They say the wealthiest people on earth now are farmers, and it is true. We want to have all of them. ذَلِكَ مَتَاعُ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. The Almighty Allah said, this is part of the amusement of the dunya. It's an amusement. It is something that is glittering, something that is nice, that is pleasing to the heart, that is, catching to the eyes. That is the dunya. But then, this dunya, this love of women and children, this love of husbands, this love for money, this love for beautiful homes, and this love for beautiful cars, what is its reality? What is the truth about it? What is it in relation to the realities of the earth or the realities of life? Are there things that are forever? Are there things that are permanent? And are there things that as Muslims or even as human beings that we must be inclined towards them, that we don't think or we don't hear or we don't listen except to them? That is the question. And Almighty Allah answers it in Surah Al-Hadid. Verse 20, the Almighty Allah says, اعلموا أنما الحياة الدنيا لعب ولا وزينة وتفاخر بينكم وتكاثر في الأموال والأولاد. The Almighty Allah said, understand something. The reality of this dunya is the delusion and amusement. That is the reality of the dunya. Delusion and amusement. Let's take a 2-year-old kid. Let's start from there. All that a 2-year-old kid is interested is in games and playing and skipping and shouting and running around. That's it. Amusement, happiness. That's all he wants. No responsibility. You even give him a responsibility, it's a waste of time. All he needs is a ball to play or a doll to play with, and that's it. Especially now that we have these technological kids where they take the phone and they even know your phone better than you. When they take the phone, all they're looking for is they're looking for the game section. That's it. So you have to install games on your phone for your kids. You have to do it. Because when they pick your phone, this is what they do. They look for games. I saw a 2-year-old kid in New York who was able to access YouTube and access the kind of cartoons he wants on YouTube. And I told the father, you see this, your son is going to be a judge, so take good care of him. If he can access your phone, go to the YouTube, icon, and then access cartoons, he knows them, then he's going to be someone great. Take good care of him. So after the children grow up a little bit, and then they get to teenagers, then that is when the lahu sets in. That is the delusion of the dunya. The young men and women, teenagers at that age, we are delusioned. Why? Our inclination to the opposite sex is very, very high. He wants to look good. So he's in high school, he wants to have good sneakers, as you say here. She wants to have, good hijab. It is not her fault. It is her natural disposition towards that. That is the delusion of the dunya. When you are a kid, the la'ib there, the play and the amusement makes you, more conversant with the dunya. But when you grow older into teenage age, whereby adolescence sets in, the delusion here is, it makes you forget about the akhirah. That is why we find that in our teenage age, you don't think about the akhirah. That is what we are open up to. When we move on forward, the Almighty Allah says, wazina. That is when we come, MashaAllah. Wazina here means beautification. So when we get into our 20s, our 25s, that age, we are preparing to get married. So the young man wants to have, a nice beard, all the time clean up, shave, nice, looks great, nice. The young lady also spends 13 hours looking at the mirror in a day, trying to, get things right. And even if the scarf turns this way, she's not happy, she'll go back into the washroom and then do it all over again. So you're waiting for her to go for a specific program. You're already 3 hours earlier, she will let you be late 2 hours later. That is the zina. We are all concerned about that at that age. Because the emotion or the idea there is to look good. To look presentable, especially to the opposite gender. Because the hormones are working, they are beating fast. Wazina. After that age, you get into your 40s. You're married now. You're starting to put down a family and a business. Then what tafakhurun bainakum sets in. The tafakhur here is showing pride. How many cars do you have, Imam? You have 2. I have 5. How many kids? وَتَكَاثُرٌ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ. And then competing each other in the increment of money and children. How many kids do you have? You have 2. Oh, you're late. I have 6. At that age, that's what the dunya sets us into. Competition in the dunya. So when you are 40, 50, when you can work, you have family, you have children, you are starting to put down a house, then tafakhur sets in. How many kids do you have? You have 2. I have 16. You're doing well. How much money do you have? Oh, a few $1 million. You are late. I have more. How many businesses do you own? I have 2. You're not trying harder. I have 6. How much is your home? $500,000. That's cheap. I live in $2.5 million mansion. Tafakhur. How much did you buy your car? Oh, it's $200,000. No, that's too cheap. I have $1 million car. How much fuel do you use in a week? How much money do you spend on fuel? I spend a week at least 3, 4, 5 gallons. Oh, you're late. Your car doesn't consume more. That is the reality of the dunya. How much is your clothes? How much does your clothes cost? maybe $10, $15. These are cheap. How much money do you spend on groceries a week? $100. That's food for my dog. That is the reality. And consciously or unconsciously, most of us are in it. Tafakhur, pride, thinking we own everything, thinking others are useless because they earn lesser. Sometimes unconsciously we make those statements, and then sometimes too consciously, because we want to hit our chest out, we do that. The Almighty Allah said, fine, this that you are doing, the amusement, the lahu, the delusion of the dunya, when people pick their rides, Ferraris, and they are on the highway, they think they are flying in jets. They pass you, and then you think, what just went by? So that was my brother first. We were from, where is it again?
Baltimore.
Some of these names, they are very hard. I said Baltimore. He said, no, it's Baltimore. We were on the highway. Is it the 124 for 76 or 96? You even streets, you have numbers for them. 95. He said 95. We say 95. You hear everything. A car went by us, and I asked him, where is he going to? He just passed us like that. So we're given the dunya. Yes, some of us are well-to-do. We live in $1 million mansions. Some of us, we don't even know how much money we have in our accounts. Some of us, the businesses are so much that we can't even, we can't even have control of the businesses. We need to hire other people to sit at those businesses. And monthly or quarterly, we have meetings. And the meetings take hours in a day. What are we doing? We're just receiving reports. I know of someone in one West African country, well-to-do man, a rich man, a millionaire in Africa, and a hafiz of the Quran. I won't mention his name, and I won't mention the country too. I was staying with him for some time, and one day I went to visit him, and then he told me, Sheikh, today I can't see you. I said, what is it? He said, I'm receiving reports. I said, what kind of reports? He said, financial reports. And they spend the whole day. Financial reports. Coming in and out, going out. And there are people like that. I heard a story, I don't know if it is true, one of the richest men in Africa, he came with his wife for a business trip here in America, and then he went back to Africa. He has forgotten the wife here. And then she called him and he said, where are you? He said, I'm back home in Africa. Where are you? She said, I'm in DC. And you went home and then you left me here. He said, I forgot about you. We have that. So the Almighty Allah is saying, it is telling us now. Now, yes, you have the money, you have the house, you have everything. And then he said, the reality of what you have is like rain that has descended on a farm. And the plants have germinated, the flowers are blossoming. And then you, the farmer, is in awe by the beauty of the farm that you have. Thumma yahij. After some time, it dries up. No matter how beautiful the plants, no matter how nice looking they are, at a point in time, they are going to dry up. فَتَرَاهُ مُصْفَرًّا. After being green and catchy and beautiful and pleasing to the eye, they all turn into brown and yellow. ثُمَّ يَكُونُ حُطَامًا. Then later it becomes debris, it becomes scattered, it becomes destroyed. What Almighty Allah is telling us is, my sister, no matter how beautiful you are, there is a time whereby you need to use pancakes on your face. That is the reality. No matter how exquisite you are in your beauty, there will be a time whereby you will have to have layers and layers of makeup so that you will deceive us. It is going to happen. No matter how smooth your body